Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We are nearing the first of the month and the paycheck will come in on the bank account on Friday. It's tomorrow. And then we have a few days before the sales they switch to next month's sales. And there are not a great many deals out there at the moment. There are a few, and Nvidia cards have gone up in price mostly, and some have gone out of stock, and some AMD have actually maintained their price with some good sales, and there are a few other good deals. If we go for the Liquid Freezer 3 Pro, no, not this one. This one. Pro Shop has it right now for $549, and that's a really good price. The only thing with this, it's great cooling. It has great cooling capacity, but you have to be careful when you tighten the pump to the CPU, because you can over tighten it and you can bend the socket. I expect maybe some of these 97 burning up might be because of over tightening the cooler block, but it's hard to clarify really. But I think it's something with the socket, and this could add to it. If it's not only this, it's something else in the socket plus this. So just be careful you don't over tighten it and ruin your CPU. But if you do that, it's a great CPU really. Also, ProShop has the Montech Titan. The 850 watts and 1000 watts are on sale right now for a really, really good deal. This is let's put it up. It's A or A plus. Oh, we have to. Montech doesn't have a lot of them. The Titan, you can see, it's an A plus power supply, and you get it for like a discounted power supply, and they have stock, not a lot, but they have good stock of it. So if you need a new power supply or planning to build a new PC within the next few months, just buy it now. It's really, really good. And unless you are going to get a 4090 or a 5090, you don't need more than 850 watts. You say, but then you have to future-proof it. But are you going to buy a 20 or 1,000 Danish kroner GPU next time? Because if you're not, then 850 watt would still be enough. And if you doubt that 850 would be enough, then the 1,000 watt would be enough. I don't see the mainstream cards getting over 400 watts in the next 3 or 4 years. Also because the GPU lines will probably be delayed anyway. So I wouldn't future-proof for what I'm going to do in 5 years, especially not if you can get it at these prices. Because if you're going over these 600 watt graphics card anyway, there should probably be 2 PCIe cables on it, or the 12 volt high power cables on it, to prevent all the load balancing problems that are right now. So yeah, very recommendable if you're going to build a PC now. This is a great power supply. So let's go to the graphics cards now. Right now they are sorted by vendor, or not vendor, but manufacturer. So that's sorted by price to performance. It's really difficult these days to actually make this list, because if you go in to Price Runner, you check off only show what's in stock, then you go to something like 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes, and then they show all these in stock. But if you click on them, then you'll see 2 to 6 days. So when Complete has back order, it just say 2 to 6 days, even though it's not 6 days. And if you go to ComputerCell, you can see it's not the same price at all. And it's also in external stock. So it's not in stock. And you don't even tell how much in stock. It could be just one. And that could be an error. So I can't recommend these in this video because they're probably not there when you see the video, even in a few hours. And these prices, it can't be recommended, right? And the same goes for all of them. Back order, you go in here. And this one is actually in stock 15. So this one can be recommended. And this is, I think also, this is also the, no, it's not the price I have. 490. There we are. So it's really hard when they don't tell you the correct stock. And have it in external stock is not having at the wholesaler because wholesaler is not stock. It's another business. If you have a physical shop and you have an online shop and they're not in the same location and you're the same owner and you have stock in the physical store and you're going to sell it online, you can say, okay, we have external stock in the store. We can go get this because this is our own stock, but you can't use the wholesaler, which is not your company, and say it's external stock. I don't think you can do that. Or maybe you have a special agreement with another shop that has stock and you can buy it off them and they get some of the profit or something like that. That could also be external stock, but a wholesaler is not external stock because someone else can buy it before you. Yeah, so I think this is a big problem, especially here in Denmark, where they say it's in stock and then you go look it up and then it's not in stock at all. And maybe you buy it and they just keep pushing the delivery date week and week and week and week and then until they just cancel the order. And then they don't honor having to give you something. They have to order you a similar product for the similar price, and they just often forget that is, you're right, to have this same kind of product. And they forget to do that all the time. Especially Complete has a lot of cases of this where they lose them in court. So yeah, but let's get down to which one I would recommend this. If you're absolutely broke and your kid's GPU has broken down and you need to buy a new one, I probably wouldn't recommend an A750. I would recommend going to Facebook Marketplace, find a used 6600 or 6650 XT or 2060 or 27 from Nvidia and buy that instead for similar or less money. The B570 is actually okay. It can be used for gaming. It's not bad. It's better than the 5050. The 5050 is not really a 50 card. It is I wouldn't call it a 4050 super because it's not super, so maybe a 4050 duper. So it's not super duper, it's just duper. It has GDDR6 memory instead of the GDDR7. It doesn't make a lot of difference with these cards, but it's not the same family of SKU either. It's not a 50 card, it's a 40 card, and it's not as great as it makes it out to be. It has better average FPS than what you feel because it has so low, slow. And so the delta between the average and the highest, it stutters a lot. So in most cases, the B570 wins in experience. If you monitor average FPS, the 5050 might win. But when you play it, you will have a better feeling playing the game, as it is a better quality playing it with the B570. So I would recommend the B570 over the 5050. And it's also a lot cheaper. So that too. But if you want NVIDIA anyway, you could go with a 5060. You have to have in mind that this has only 8 PCIe lanes, where like cards like the B580 has 16 lanes, and it also has more VRAM. So I think I would also, at these price points, I would recommend the B580, even though it's more expensive per frame. You don't have to put up as much money right now. And going up to the 9060 XT 8GB doesn't make a lot of sense either. Then I would probably recommend the B560, and then I wouldn't recommend the B560, then I would recommend the B580. But this is a really good card, and it is a little bit better, but it's also a lot more expensive. So I think I would just recommend, if you're going entry levels, for the B580. They do have a few games where the CPU overhead is still present, because they have to fix it on game per game basis. So there might be some older games that came out before the B580 that they haven't fixed it yet, but they have been really good at fixing all these problems. So I'm not scared of recommending it anymore. So I think in the entry level, I would recommend this. In the budget level, I would recommend going by used, but used are also getting very expensive because people can't afford buying new ones, so they keep the old ones for longer. But my strong recommendation here is the 9070 XT, because ProShop has on sale for less than 5,000, and this is a really good price, and it's a really good card. It doesn't really matter which one you get, all of them are really good. Some of them are a little bit better, but we're talking 2, 3, 5% maybe. And then you would have to pay maybe 7,000 or 8,000 for 5% better graphics card, and I don't think that's worth it. It's not like NVIDIA, where we have some of the lesser brand models that produce discount models, where it's really discount, where they have bad fans and worse cooling and worse performance than the better ones. But all of them are a really good quality with the 9070 at least. The 9070 non-XT is out of production now, and they will funnel all the RAM over to the XT model instead. So unless this is cheaper in frames per krona, I wouldn't recommend the 9070. And I can't recommend the 5060 Ti's, really. They're just too expensive for what you get. I can recommend the 5070, but you could just pay 500 krona more, right? And then you could get a lot more, a lot better. So if you can't afford that 500 krona extra, it's not bad. You get 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It should be enough to play on medium-high settings, at least for the next 5 years. And that's not too bad for a life cycle of a card of this 12 gigabyte size, I think. And PlayStation has just said they are delaying the PS6 for 28. So it's a big delay, I think, and it will also push back when the graphics in the games will become better, because the PS6 and Xbox Magnus, it will have probably 20 or 24 gigabytes of VRAM, and that will push the boundaries of the PC games too, because they will have to follow those, because those are the main markets for these games most of the time. Although PC gaming has taken over really in 2025, and I think that's also because a lot of these exclusives have come out on PC, so people are less prone to buying them on the consoles. And also 2025 was also the year that the PS5 actually took over from the PS4. In 2024 and 2023, the PS4 actually sold more still than the PS5. So, and yeah, so in a high-end gaming system, I would recommend the 9070 XT. I know FSR4, Redstone and all that has not really come into very many games. None at all, really. The only game that seems to have full support is Crimson Desert that comes out here the 19th of March, which I really look forward to. And also Death Stranding is coming to PC also the 19th of March. These two games I really looking forward to trying. And I think that's it for today. So let's recap quickly. If you want budget, you should buy probably the B570 or used 2070 RTX 2070 or 2070 Super or better, I would say. Would be really good for entry level if you are going for not entry budget level. And if you're going for entry level, you could go with the B580. I don't think I would recommend neither of these really over the B580 at the current price point. And the B580 has become a lot better than it was at launch. They have fixed a lot of the problems in the drivers. So it's not a bad buy, and you wouldn't regret buying it, I think. But I think this is still the main player. If this was like 1,000 kroners cheaper, you could go and say this. It would probably also be in the same price to performance category, but right now, price to performance, this is just a better buy. Yeah. I think that's it for today, guys. So take care up there and spend your money wisely. See you guys around.